I look at Chime, I look at what machine learning it has as far as AI, and it's got Google machine learning. And I know that Google just announced that they're going to release their version of Chatgpt. And I know that the people at Chime on the back end are like, how are we going to work this together? So I'm excited to see that in the near future as well. Like it. You know what, Stuart? You should have, when it says embracing AI, instead of putting that picture of a robot hand, you should have done a picture of you done on AI. That would have been awesome.
There you go. There's a thought for Kendra for the next one.
Kendra, let's get Stuart's AI picture. That would be hilarious and awesome. I love it. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm joining you from Ventura County, California. Happy to be here. Stuart, where are you out of, buddy?
Vancouver, British Columbia.
Always. I love that. I love that area. And Megan, how about you?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Are you at the actual office?
No, I'm at home. The actual office, it's not quite done yet. So coming soon.
Almost there. All right. Well, Stuart, Megan, we're going to be talking about embracing artificial intelligence. I know that was, for me, the main reason I was attracted to Chime back when I jumped in. And then after I got in, I was like, oh, wow, there's a lot of other amazing things. But it started with, for me, artificial intelligence. And that's a key word. That's a hot word with ChatGPT right now. So tell us where you want to go with this.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely a topic that is out there. So I was at the Inman conference a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, 80% of the conversations that I had revolved around AI and the future of AI. And I was reading an article yesterday on LinkedIn about, written by a thought leader from the industry. And I didn't really agree with his points about, pulling back from AI. And I think there's some points about AI that if you're doing it right, and if you're doing it well, for instance, Chime uses, Google and their machine learning technology. But, if you're adapting to that kind of thing, I think it's great. Because I believe that AI can take a lot of the heavy lifting away from the typical agent who has a large database, that AI can jump in, talk to customers, send information to customers, and you can really build your technology stack around being able to manage your database long term. Not everybody can pick up the phone and call 10,000 people in a year. It's almost undoable. So as you grow your database, you need that help in the background working. And that's everything from when someone comes to your website to start and they engage with a chatbot. And that's where everything starts. So we'll see where technology grows over the next 24 months. But, I think we've got a really good head start, but it's going to remain a hot topic. Absolutely.
Yeah, man, I think you're right on that part. I don't know whoever said that at the conference you went to is wrong.
Totally. I was like, wow, I can't believe this guy's even saying it.
It's dumb. Here's what, and then I'll let you go, but because you reminded me of something. I interviewed a guy named Alejandro Navia. He runs a company called NFT Now. It's the biggest NFT company out there. Gary V invested in his company. It's still doing well. But he said one thing when I brought up ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, and I'm just going to read you off my notes. He says the person who uses artificial intelligence strategically will be the one that takes the jobs. It's not the other way around. I was like, oh, I go, that makes total sense. Because we keep on hearing AI is going to take your job. No. It's the people that know how to use AI and are using it. They're going to take your jobs.
And embracing it. Like it is there. It's out there. So you can't think about technology as something that's going to be a competitor to you or your business. You have to take what's out there and adapt to it in order for you to continue to be successful. Because, especially in real estate, Tristan, as you know, the consumer is the one that really rules, right? They're the ones that are buying, they're selling. So you as an agent or a broker can provide them with the relevant information that can be gathered through AI. And then it's just a matter of presenting that information in a cohesive manner that they understand it. But again, it take away some of the heavy lifting off your shoulders and let it do the work. You can always go back and make changes, subtle changes to how the AI works for you as a business owner. So, when we think about, some of the themes that I've got up there, the property analysis and future valuation of homes, like that, AI will gather that information and take all the comps in your area and put that together so you actually have a better understanding of your market. And in some cases, especially in the US, where we're talking about such a transient population, right? You look at the mass exodus from California right now. Why should agents lose that business just because someone moves out of their area? You can actually provide that information to people if they're moving from California to somewhere else, whether it's Indianapolis or Chicago or wherever they're going. The Midwest is super popular right now, but it gives you that ability to stay in touch with your customer. Doesn't matter if they live specifically in your marketplace. And I think that's one of the things about the industry that the industry has to do is change their thought process a little bit about, and it might not necessarily be about the expert in your own market, but be an expert in the market. So, super important to understand that. And from a lead generation perspective, the AI is going to be out there searching for people, looking for possible buyers or sellers for you, and introducing you to them to give you an upper hand over your competitor who's doing the standard stuff that agents have done for years, which is, your bus stops and the signs on the side of the road or whatever they're doing, the traditional marketing methodologies, postcards and things like that. And AI will give you an advantage over those people. So I'd like to hear some of your thoughts around that.
Did I think if we combine something like Chime, like if we go to our website on Chime, which we did yesterday on a different, I'm going to link it because it's on the Chime YouTube channel for what we did. We did one that went into the back end of Chime and showed you what we're doing with Chatgpt and AI. And we're showing you how we're using the Chime AI as well as the smart plans by just grabbing AI and then just saying, hey, AI, why don't you create this whole smart plan for me? And then we can just kind of put it in our own words and put it into Chime. And then the goal for us, which is what's exciting for me here on content marketing, the goal for us, because we already have the Chime site and it does so well in SEO, is to create one blog a day. One blog a day, that's 365 we're starting, just so you know the date, we're starting March 1st. We're creating one blog a day that's going to revolve around Malibu, Westlake Village, and Calabasas.
Yep.
And we've asked ChatGPT right now, but we're about to start testing out Google Bard, right, which is the competitor. Google Bard we'll start testing out next month. But we're going to ask for metadata and meta tags and saying, hey, make this article more SEO friendly. Hey, refine it. And then we're grabbing that information, rewording it, and putting it into the Chime section for blogs. And dude, that when you combine Chime and the ability to mass produce something in areas, that's the beauty of this, because I want to be able to use our site to dominate our market. And I think that's where people are missing it. That's why, like whoever this guy was who said AI sucks, I'm not sure they're even in real estate, man.
Well, you think about reach, right? So as an individual, how much reach do you actually have? And whether that's through email marketing, SMS marketing, or social media, there's only so many hours in a day for an individual realtor who spends a lot of their time in their vehicle, going from properties or meeting with potential customers or doing listing appointments. You've got to think about in what's happening in the background, right? So when I think about content marketing, and like it says here, the e-commerce companies have been doing this really well for a while. You think about Hootsuite and how they manage social media platforms, but you also think about real estate companies that are really making strides today in all fronts, right? So over the next 2 years, what are real estate agents going to really be thinking about? And it's either saving money or trying to make more money, right? And content marketing and the driven content marketing that's going to be driven by AI is going to be a key piece to both of those, right? Whether you're trying to save money by possibly replacing a staff member with an electronic version of that person, or just expanding that reach that I'm talking about is going to be very key. And AI, the content that it drives by pulling information, again, we talked about local markets, we could talk about bigger markets, but that's what's going to draw people in, is the content that you provide them really is what gets their interest in using you as a real estate agent. There's a lot of us out there. It's a competitive marketplace, and unless you're differentiating yourself through that content, and whether it's localized market information, what's happening today and with interest rates across the nation, because they are varying, right? You're seeing some interest rates dip in certain areas, but you're also seeing it rise in certain areas. So you really have to be up on all the information and providing that information to not only the prospects, but your customer database that you've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
And you can gather information about the homes that they in their area to compare to when they bought. And I always use myself as that example. If I had an aggressive real estate agent that came to me and told me that my house had risen, $1 million in the last 10 years, I want to know that information. An AI can jump in and drive that interest content, let's call it, where the content that you provide is driving interest to use your business.
Dude, I love that. Can I share my screen really quick? Because
yeah, absolutely. I'll stop sharing mine. Go ahead.
You said reminded me of a few things of what we're doing. And Megan, if you see anything, I'm about to share my Chime site. So if you see anything there that you want me to hover over or expand on, let me know. That's Chatgpt, which I'm going to go over, by the way. Let me see here.
So just for everyone's knowledge, Megan is part of our product team, and she will show a little bit of Chime towards the end of the webinar.
Awesome. Perfect. So if you see here, I'm on the back end of Chime. I'm going to go to our website, a back end, right? You see at the very top where it says blog, right? That's what I'm going to hit. So you can start seeing we're testing it out now. We never really gone full in, but if you click on one of the blogs that we did, which is there, discover the best beaches in Malibu, your ultimate guide to paradise. Now, all of a sudden, Surfrider Beach, we know all these beaches, so we can go in and tweak it, which is what we've done. But it started with, right? And look at the recent posts up here on the right. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to start dominating these. This is how you start using AI within Chime. Check this out. Discover the best beaches in Malibu. Now I'm going to go really quick. I'm going to go over to Chatgpt. Let me know when my screen pops up so that, let me know if I can share Chatgpt just to show you guys. Are we there? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So best, write me a blog about the top 5 beaches in Malibu. And then we're going to give it a few seconds. It's going to start writing. What we do is we're doing this all throughout the areas we cover. So it could be places to eat, things to do, places to hike, history, everything. And we're going through and looking at it, reading it and saying, got it. Let's change some stuff up. Let's make this our wording, right? But the thing is, it's making it a lot easier for us to grab this and now work with something so that we can produce one blog a day for Chime.
Wow, that is super powerful, Tristan, because you can actually judge the AI that's going into this and how well it performs over the next 2 weeks that you have this posted up there, right? Before it gets lost in the shuffle of the other posts that you're going to do on a daily basis.
Dude, because now this is why I love Chime, because it already, you start with, here are the things that we missed. Let it finish up. I'll go back to it. The things we miss with sites like Chime is when you load it up, Google's looking, well, how fast did the site load? That means I'm going to grade it much higher, right? And then it crawls through and then it looks for stuff like this. Let me go back. Stuff like this that we're going to grab and put on there after we fix it. And it's like, oh, it's also relevant and new. So a lot of the stuff we're going to be adding is going to have a year, and it's so niche that when people are searching, it's going to be relevant. The next step on this, because Chime works with YouTube really well, right? We can just play our videos through there, is now, Stuart, Megan, I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a video on this.
That's right.
So this is the other thing we're going to do. I'm going to stop sharing. And this is what it's going to look like because it's so easy to do. Let me go back to my Chime site. Where to go? Tell me if you can see my Chime blog.
Yep.
All right, so now I'm on my mobile and I'm gonna go to this site specifically. I'm gonna take a snapshot of that, boom, and I'm gonna put it on a green screen behind me, and I'm gonna stop sharing. And I'm gonna be like, these are the 5 best beaches in Malibu you're visiting. You've got to go to, and then I'm gonna point Surfrider Beach. And then I'm gonna keep on doing that. And I'm gonna drive traffic to my blog from my socials. But do you see how people are just not creative enough? The people that you're saying, hey, AI sucks, you've got to just pull away from this. It's like, no, you're doing the opposite. You've got
Well, I love that piece that you pulled up, the beaches around Malibu, because that is a perfect example of what I'm talking about from a content generation perspective, right? So that is, what did you put into the sentence? 5 words, 6 words? And that completely built an article for you on your local market and where you are doing business.
Yeah.
So people need to start embracing this kind of technology. And there's some stats that I've got up on the screen right now, right? So when you're thinking about having an educated conversation about a potential a listing, this is the information that they're looking for, right? So you're getting that increased accuracy within your market, the knowledge that you have within your market. And even if you're a new agent or someone that doesn't know that information, the AI will go find that for you and give it to you. As long as you have the right skills as an agent to present that information, it takes just a whole pile of work off your hands. So you should be embracing this and using this type of technology that Tristan is suggesting on a daily basis to improve your business. And as a broker, you could even take it to another level, right? So because you're trying to make sure that every agent in your office is happy and has people to talk to, so you can really drive business for your whole office, not just for yourself as an individual.
Well, that's the other piece to this. When you have something like Chime, I'm gonna steal your screen, Stuart. I'm gonna steal.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Let me grab it. I'm gonna show you something on the back end of Chime. If I go, can you see my Chime screen?
Yep.
All right, smart plans. I'm gonna just be, let's see, add more smart plans or just boom, which is gonna click on that. So you have these, right, which are already built in there. I love them, cool. But let's say I want to build my own, right? Add a new one. I can add all these cool things. Now I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to be like, okay, I want to build my own, and I want to go to, let's just choose Chatgpt. I want to see what the hell happens, right? I just did this while you were talking. I say create. I'm going to zoom in. Create texting cadence for someone who just visited my website to buy homes in Malibu. And and there it is, day 1. Hi there, right? You can tweak this, but the point is I don't have to think about figuring this out. I could just go in and tweak. This is it. And then I grab them. I go back to the smart plans and I add them. And you're like, well, maybe we can do email too, and just kind of mix it up. And like, yeah, let's try that. Create an email cadence. And now all of a sudden it starts creating the email cadence. And now I have a smart plan that I can plug into Chime that's relevant to the area that I work in. You could do it for open houses. You could do it for anything, and you can refine it. You can extend it. See, this is how you start working with powerful tools that you already have. Dude, that's why I'm so excited that when I look at Chime, I look at what machine learning it has as far as AI, and it's got Google machine learning. And I know that Google just announced that they're going to release their version of Chatgpt. And I know that the people at Chime on the back end are like, how are we going to work this together? So I'm excited to see that in the near future as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons we do webinars like this is to inform people about what we're doing from a product perspective, right? So you always get a firsthand look at what we're doing, which, is obvious because, we want to spread the word about it. And AI is absolutely one of our main focuses when you think about our roadmap and what we're going to do, because it does really affect every other piece of the Chime product, whether it's email marketing, text marketing, social media marketing, the smart list that you've mentioned. Like, this is all tied in together right from when a consumer comes to your website and they engage with a chatbot. That is where AI kicks in. And as they go into your CRM, the CRM has all kinds of AI driven processes that continue to interact with that consumer. And it's only going to get greater and greater as we move forward.
Yep.
So I don't mind. I don't hope you don't mind. Maybe we get Megan to jump on here and give us a couple of examples or show us a little bit of what we're talking about here.
Sure. Yeah. Did you want to see what the AI looks like, both interacting on the website as well as to the backend?
Sounds good.
All right. Perfect. Let me pull up my screen. So over here, I have an example Chime website. Do you all see this? Pretty basic website, but earlier today I went in and down here we have our AI assistant. So I had a couple of conversations with her here. So to start, it does prompt with some questions. So those questions have gone away since we're already mid-conversation here. One thing that's nice though is it's going to recognize your cookies. So if your guests are revisiting your website, they'll see what they've already said here. So you've got some conversation where you're looking to buy, where, what's your price range, what's your criteria. So it'll ask things like beds, baths, and then it's trying to get some contact information. So once we hit this point where it's got some contact information, over here in, oh, my dog's coming in. Over here in this section, we've got a captured visitor. So that was me earlier. So as soon as we get some contact information, we get this, and now I can see the entire conversation with the AI. So if I'm the agent and it's getting assigned to me, I can see that this agent just had, this lead just had a conversation with our AI assistant, and we can also review the activity up here. So taking a second to load, but it'll show us the whole conversation.
Yeah, so I think that's important because as an agent, you're not missing out on any of that. You can always go back and review the conversation to make sure that you've got your notes straight. But it is all kept within the Chime database, so it's all available with a couple of clicks of the button.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so over here, once we get some information, it's prompting us with some properties. This is just a test website, so but we've got some properties that are fitting the criteria. There was a button that was asking if I wanted to schedule, which I did, and then it assigned me an agent. So it said, Amy's your agent. You can contact them. And over in here, Amy was notified that she got a new lead. So
I love that. The other part.
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear. I have two dogs that just walked in on me.
No, you're good.
We can't hear your dogs, but
Okay.
The other part that I don't know if it's on your screen or not, but I know that when we're looking at the back end, under suggestions on the left on that bar, there's a section that the little AI bot comes in and says, hey, you want to enable the AI to suggest listings for this person? Or it also says smart plan. So I think those are important too.
Yep, up here, right now it's just monitoring the lead's behavior. You can also decide if you want to give it, suggestions, schedule an appointment, continue qualifying. And then I also had some smart plans automatically set up to trigger with the AI. So these are smart plans that are pre-built into Chime. So if we're coming into campaigns and then smart plans, within the library, if you come into the AI assistant accessory, these are the ones that are pre-built. So if you hit import, you can come in, you can still edit these. So again, kind of like what they were saying earlier, AI can write things. It always helps to go in and reread and rewrite, all the content so it sounds like you. But these are pre-built out, and you can decide, is it a private smart plan, a group if you're in an enterprise group, a team. You can auto apply it, which means it'll just automatically start for anyone that the AI has talked to with this just looking. So maybe they're not super serious or super quick, but they're looking around on your website. And then when you hit save, which I think I already have this one saved, so it's probably going to give me an error. We'll just give it a different name. Sure. Now when we come in here, we've got it right here.
So I think one of the cool things about AI, and we haven't talked about this yet, and especially with the Google learning capabilities, is that it starts to learn from your habits and how you actually work the system. So it does start to act like you once it understands how you run your business. And I think that's really where the future of AI really can even be more beneficial, because it will be less like a computer answering and more like you as an individual agent or broker.
Yeah, very true. And look, there's a very valid question. I want to answer it. Trent had it. And I'm also looking on the back end of Chime, so my eyes are going back and forth on this. He said that that he had one case where he thought somebody was trying to steal the lead from him from his chat section, right? So he's like, "Hey, I didn't know you worked for Trent." I was like, "Yeah, that's actually a great story." What we do on our end is when we turn on the live chat. That's what I was trying to open up and turn on my end. We have a little. We make it really obvious for people that are visiting our site to know that it's actually not real. It's a bot.
Yeah.
And we have Baby Yoda's face on it, so that it's not a real person. So Grogu, that's right, Jake. Thank you, Grogu. We have so Jake runs that whole thing on the back end, but we have the AI assistant with Grogu, and it says from the very beginning, "Hey, I'm just AI. It's not real, right?" And
yeah. And in here you have your settings, so you can give it a different photo. If you don't fill in the photo, it'll just autofill with the agent's photo from the website. So a photo will be there regardless, as long as you have a headshot. You can change that here. You can change the name. By default, it's called Anna, but you can call it whatever you want. If you want to call it Baby Yoda, if you want to call it AI Anna, Anna the assistant, something like that, it'll make it more obvious.
good point here. I found it. I have Baby Yoda. I'll share it with you in a little bit. So the other part to this is that you can also turn on AI to respond to specific leads at different times, whether they're incoming leads or whether they're older leads being nurtured. Can you show where that is? Because I think that's as valuable, Megan. If not,
Sure.
probably more if we're buying leads, right?
Yeah, so over here you have your settings on the conversation options. So you've got some of your options. So like if it's a new lead versus all leads, here schedule an appointment. So maybe you want to not turn it on for all. Maybe you only want to have it try to schedule an appointment once it's looked at 5 different properties in 24 hours, which if they're browsing on the website, that's very possible. The provide listing suggestions. So it's really all is going to capture everyone. And then as far as some of these more specific, conversation topics, it gives you more specific options here. So like this back to site, for example, this is if somebody has left your website and maybe for, I think it's like 30 days and then they come back. So that would be a good one to capture for sure, if they're remembering you and coming back to your website.
I like that. And then the times too, you can set what times they respond so that Trent brings up a good point. Look, Trent, if you can handle the calls in between or texting during normal hours, I would suggest you do it then so that you have a little bit more control. And we have it on in the evenings when nobody's on. Right. So typically I put there 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Because if we get people that are visiting around that time, what we've noticed is that they will actually respond back. Right. And that's your preference on your end. But if they're coming in at 2 a.m. as a brand new lead and they get a message from us, most of the time they're messaging us back, which is nuts. But I mean, you think about it, they're coming in the middle of the night. Right. So they're up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this one here, the text message qualification, that's specifically like texting the phone number that they get. So this is one that I would definitely recommend maybe not having set too late or too early in the morning, so that it does seem more like a real person. Most people are not going to be texting still at 10 p.m.
Good question. Nick's got a great question. I don't know if you can answer this, Stuart or Megan. Do you have any paid consultants that can work with us to set up the AI systems and maximize them? Do we have anything like that?
At Chime, we don't know. Anyone on our support team would be able to work with you though on all of these settings. Really, all of the AI settings are right here. We don't have access to anything that you don't have access to. So I always recommend with your account going in, chatting with your own AI assistant, adding yourself as a lead, just so you get a feel for what that looks like from a lead perspective.
Yeah, that's actually a great suggestion. I'm trying to see if I can share one thing on my screen really quick.
Sure.
Okay, good. I got it. I found it again. And then I'll go back to you, Megan. Here's Grogu.
Oh.
There you go. So you can change up the picture, change up the messaging, whatever you want. Timing, just like Megan showed you, and have these all on or all off, or some on, some off, whatever you'd like, right? But that's how we have it on. And for us, it's helped out a lot. I think if anything, we can see how AI is simplifying the ability for us to not have to hire a lot of entry level people, being more strategic as to who you hire, so they can kind of manage the back end, so they have the right flows and processes going through. So there's a lot of great changes happening. I'm glad Chime is changing along the way as well.
Yeah, and you're going to see that evolve over the next, obviously, forever during the future, because it is such a heavy focus on what we believe we need to do to help agents. I do want to mention that we are going to include the AI assistant with every new subscription coming into Chime for the month of February. So make sure you check that out.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. We put the link in there. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out to any of us. I think, Stuart, where do you have a great LinkedIn following, right?
I do, yeah.
So
yeah.
if you have questions for Stuart, he's really good on LinkedIn and really fast. So follow him there. And if you have a question for Chime in general, Megan, where do we go? Because we don't want to bombard you.
Sure. Yeah. So our support team can be reached at support@chimeinc.com. Or if you're logged into your CRM, if you go under the question mark icon, you'll also have an option for a live chat.
Nice. And I know that's at the top right-hand corner. Right?
Yeah, top right-hand corner, right next to your avatar. It's just a circle with a question mark inside. The phone number is listed there, as well as our live chat. I definitely recommend live chat, just because, you have to imagine agents, they can only talk to one person at a time on the phone. They can handle more chats. So chat's the quickest way to get through.
I love that. Thanks, everybody. Megan, Stuart, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I can't wait to see where the AI goes on Chime. I know you guys are working on some other stuff, which, by the way, we should do a whole session on what's new with Chime, which would be great.
Right? Anytime.
I think that
Tristan, are you going to be at any shows? You're on the road?
Let me think. The next one I'm going to be at that's bigger. I think I've got one in San Diego for NAREB, and then I've got the Orlando one for EXP, which is shareholders in May. Those are the two bigger ones.
Nice.
And then you've got Derek. He reached out to you on LinkedIn. There you go.
Fantastic.
Everyone, thank you so much for being on. Stay warm if you're in a cold area. If you're already warm, good for you. Have an awesome day. And thanks for using Chime. If you have any questions, reach out to us.
Thanks, Tristan.
Thanks, everybody.